Welcome to the Athletic Brewing Post-Race Report. Alongside Dee Griesbauer and Marinda Carfrey, I'm Michael Lovato. Today, the Ironman Pro Series took place at the VinFast IRONMAN World Championship in Kailua, Kona. Let's recap the day. And bright and early in Kailua Bay, the cannon fired, and just like that, the 2024 VinFast Ironman World Championship was underway. The Roka swim, one lap in these beautiful waters, was set with a torrid pace from the outset, Dee.
It was, and it was one of the largest front packs. It seemed the entire men's field was a part of the pack throughout the first half of the entire swim.
One of the big stories in that early stage was seeing Sam Laidlow go around the turnaround, roll on his back, see where everyone was, put the hammer down, and we saw him and Mino Koolhaas switch leads in the front.
And the pack did finally see separation, and it was when Sam Laidlow took advantage perhaps of a change in currents, but really dropped the hammer, distanced himself from a couple of his partners, but ultimately broke up that massive pack.
It did. That big pack got singled out. It was Mino Koolhaas and Sam Laidlow back and forth, changing leads throughout the rest of the Roka swim.
But no one really knew what was in store because we all say this, the swim only sets you up for a good race. It doesn't determine victory or loss.
And while the lead pack got strung out there at the end, there were roughly 22 guys out of the water together into T1.
An international cast of characters, to be certain. They all ripped through the massive transition and out onto the full gas bike course. We saw these folks together. We thought, oh man, is it going to be one of these stories where there's a lot of jostling for position, switching up? But no, it was all Sam Laidlow from the outset.
Yeah, Mr. Sam Laidlow making quick work at the early part of that bike there, putting a couple of minutes in right in that first section in and out of town.
And then right out onto the opening stretches of the 180-kilometer, 112-mile bike course, we saw, again, an international mix of people pushing to the front, exchanging the lead. David McNamee, a two-time third-place finisher from Scotland, was early on in the mix.
And it was Christian Blumenfeld who had made his way towards the front of the race, but suffered dreadful stomach problems.
At the turnaround in Hawaii, we had Magnus Ditlev trying so hard to close the gap. His second position would remain just out of reach of catching up to Sam Laidlow. We thought they might have been a dynamic duo together, but that never came to fruition.
Yeah, we had a massive group of men in that pack at the turnaround up in Hawaii, just trying to make their way through that aid station quickly and efficiently.
And then back down out of Hawaii and rushing down. Robert Callan, of course, one of our superstars coming to you from Sweden. He tried his best. Blumenfeld did manage to get his stomach right enough to push up and give us the question, is he back? Can he contend?
He absolutely settled and stayed in that pack, but it was the blistering speed of Sam Laidlow setting a course record out on the course today.
3:57, an unbelievable time for Laidlow, the Frenchman, heading out with a pretty comfortable visage, looking fairly solid and good form. It wasn't until later that we started to see a few chinks in the armor.
It was Robert Callan who came off the bike in second place, passing Magnus Ditlev in the closing stages of that bike ride.
And then out on the highway, Patrick Longa, 2 times he's won the race, and he came through with that experience. A little acknowledgement to the faltering Sam Laidlow, but the form on point, the effort very clearly in his favor as Langa took off.
The next one to come through was Magnus Ditlev. We had some concerns at the closing stages of the bike and early into the marathon, but he was able to regroup and pass not only Sam Laidlow, but move himself in to second place.
Coming past Leon Chevalier there in the Energy Lab, and Rudy Von Berg, to some a big surprise, not only top American, but making his way into third place in the second half of the marathon.
But today it was the man Patrick Langer throwing down a blistering run split and taking the title here today.
With full of emotion, as we know he always is on the highs and the lows, today he became the VinFast Ironman World Champion in a course record time of 7 hours and 35 minutes. Patrick Longa, yes, a 3-time champion.
And it was Magnus Ditlev who was able to resurrect himself from a rough start to the marathon to hold on to second place. An historic day for the tall Dane.
And in a day that saw 16 athletes break that magical 8-hour barrier, our third place finisher did so in fine form, representing USA. Rudy Von Berg came home in 7:45 to clinch that third step and the bronze medal today. Everyone echoed that this was such a hard race, everyone with a tank completely drained. There it is again in 7:35. Patrick Longa, Magnus Ditlev second, Rudy Von Berg with Chevalier, Koolhaus, Barnaby, Werf, Linders. What an international field. And even Matt Hansen finally getting that top 10 here in Kona.
Matt Hansen, our previous point series leader, hanging on, fighting his way into the top 10, but would he hold on to the overall lead in the series points?
Well, great question. The answer, unfortunately for Matt, no. Patrick Longa took that top spot, winning at least, or pushing into the series standings first place, 18,000 points. A lot of shuffling happened, Rennie, in that second part of the top 10.
Yeah, Bradley Weiss, another name, moving up there into third place. Matthew Marquardt, fourth, and Barnaby moving up 10 spots in fifth place in the overall standings right now.
That's right. And I tell you what, the next Ironman Pro Series broadcast will be Ironman 70.3 Western Australia in Busselton. And due to time zone differences, coverage will begin on November 30th at 4 p.m. Eastern Time in the U.S., 9 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time, and on December 1st at 5 a.m. Australian Western Standard Time. Please do watch for free at proseries.ironman.com, Outside TV, and all of our other distribution partners around the globe.